Yeah, so now we have actually completed quite a lot of the 300 ZX. We, as you can see, have the motor installed. The blow-off valves did not come this way, where I first told you that, you know, the HKS blow-off valves will come here. No, they did not fit there because there is just too short space. So they are actually down here where the stock blow-off valves also sits. 2 air filters. I am running the JapTuning, which is a chip basically for the stock ECU. And the problem is that with this configuration, the airflow meter will max out. So instead of running 1 airflow meter for the complete engine, I'm running the 1 airflow meter just to one side, actually just to one turbo. That means I can measure double the airflow before it's maxing out, which means it should be capable of reading up to like 900 horsepower, which is more than this engine will make with the HKS turbos. Anyway, there was some issues. We had to fix an oil leak from a pipe to the turbo. That was fixed, and what else? Yeah, some minor findings that we have fixed as well. But now it's kind of together, and it has been heat cycled a couple of times. No leaks, whatever, so far. Well, then I ran it in the dyno 2 days ago, first attempt, and there was quite some issues. I had big problems with, again, that air flow meter and the configuration of that in the JapTuning software, but I did manage to fix that up, and I had one pull, full open throttle pull, where I also found out that, okay, the stock boost level, where the configuration, the stock config of the actuators, that's down to 1 bar of boost, and I'll show you here on this computer. So here's my software for the dyno. It looks like this, and here, this one is dated 17th. I had a chance to spend just some little time with it. And as you can see here, it's a really nice figure. Pulls out 428 horsepower at the wheels and 525 Newton meters of torque on the wheels, which is approximately a bit over 600 Newton meters in the engine, and almost 500 horsepower at 0.99 bars of boost, which is about 15 psi. So then I did some other configs to it, and I managed to do another pull with totally different settings. This pull is with 1.1 bar of boost, and you can really see it is responding very well. So 448 horsepower on 1.1 bar of boost, like 17 psi or something, and 548 Newton meters of torque. Quite impressive, I would say, for this this 3.2 liter. So 548 Newton meters of torque. Usually I calculate about 15%, so that would be about 630 Newton meters in the engine. And there is still a lot of more like boost to come. I think we will end up at some 1.4, 1.5 bars of boost. I am running it on 95 octane, so that is the lowest octane that you can get in Sweden, just to make sure I can fill it up wherever I go. I have one Innovate kind of Stone Age wideband LM1, and then I have a Satronics attached to here, so that I'm able to measure the O2 with O2 cells in each exhaust pipe, so I can see how much if there is a difference between how it is burning the fuel. And on that I have this yellow cable that is my exhaust gas temperature cable that goes in from only one side, but still it gives me a good reference of where I am with ignition timing. Other than that, to control detonation, which is probably the most important thing to control, I'm doing that very analog with this hose. The hose here goes into, it looks like this, so extremely basic, but that really will give me a good control of the detonation, because as soon as you hear pinging or knocking, you will hear that right away in those phones here. So that's how it looks. Here's my dyno. The dyno looks like this. It's from Land and Sea, it's called, company in the US. And there is also a eddy current brake. I'll see if I can show you this. Yes, under here is the electronically powered brake. Those big brown coils will create a huge magnet field. And there is, this one here, it's steel. There is another one on the other side. When the dyno is spinning, obviously that big metal thing is also spinning, and when power is controlled over the coils, there is a huge magnetic field, and it will break up the roller. That means I can basically stand on full throttle at a certain RPM, and the engine won't go over that, because this is the eddy current brake. It's braking. Of course, it's making a lot of heat. Therefore, I have this huge pipe here that I built to this fan. So this fan is blowing down underneath in this pipe to cool down that brake. Other than that, I have a big, you can see one big opening over here. I can open here and I can open here to get a great ventilation all through this Dyno Villa, as I call it. And on top of that, I have this huge fan from Dyno Blowing Systems that I can blow, obviously, air. It consumes 7.5 kilowatts of power, and it is extremely big. It's just it is delivering a lot of air, so that's working extremely well. On top of that, obviously, I can control the dyno with a computer and the eddy current brake with that as well. So it's really nice to have that all home. Now of course I use this Dyno Villa to also put some other cars in. Here's my old 911 from 1975, and here's another 32 GTR. Kind of big project. This one might come up as another thread in the future, but we're not there yet. Yeah, so that's where we are right now, and I do think that I have things under control more or less, but unfortunately there was one thing that I found out, and that is that the engine is not dry anymore. There is a oil leak underneath of it. And I'm quite sad to see this, but there is oil underneath of it. It was not the case 2 days ago when I started. It was not the case in the workshop when we had it running. So this is something that has started recently. And I need to take the car off the dyno. I will not continue to drive it on the dyno because there is a chance that it can take fire, obviously. So we don't want that to happen. So stay tuned for next session. Let's see when that is, but it's definitely, it's always 2 steps forward and 1 back, isn't it? Oh well, I'm really looking forward to try this car on the street in the future. It looks so aggressive and massive with that HKS intercooler in the front. I really like it. So it will be cool.